30 Tomahawk missiles shot into the sky and quickly headed toward the enemy's airfield. Seeing the missiles fly overhead, the man immediately ordered all fighter jets to form an attack formation. They were going to complete an extremely difficult mission, to destroy an enemy oil refining facility. To avoid radar-guided surface-to-air missiles, 4 F-18 fighter jets had to fly at supersonic speed, low over the canyons. Soon, the Tomahawk missiles reached the airfield and successfully hit their targets. At the same time, the airborne early warning aircraft detected enemy fighters rapidly approaching. The man had to complete the mission before they arrived. He accelerated, flew through a bridge tunnel, quickly crossed the canyon, began to climb, then flipped over and dived vertically, successfully locking onto the mission target and dropping 2 missiles. After hitting the target, the man rapidly climbed vertically. After his fighter jet flew out of the valley, the second group of jets dropped 2 more missiles, completely destroying the target. But the danger was not over. They were detected by the enemy's radar, and all the surface-to-air missiles in the canyon were launched at the 4 fighter jets. Soon, all the heat decoys were used up. One fighter jet was being chased by a missile. With no way to evade, the man made a sudden stop and climb, successfully saving his teammate, but his own jet was hit by a missile and instantly broke into 2 pieces. At that moment, the enemy Su-57 fighter jets were only 1 minute away from the battlefield. The command center had no choice but to order all fighter jets to retreat immediately. On the other side, the man was spotted by an enemy helicopter. He immediately got up and ran. The helicopter fired at him, and it seemed like there was no way out. At the critical moment, the helicopter was destroyed by a shell. It turned out that his teammate had come back to save him, but in the next second, the teammate was hit by a missile. The man ran toward the direction where his teammate had ejected. They successfully met up in the forest. Then, through a telescope, the man discovered an old fighter jet in the bombed airfield. So the 2 of them slipped into the hangar amidst the chaos. The man quickly climbed into the jet, started the engine, and flew into the sky. But he hadn't flown far when 2 Su-57 fighter jets suddenly appeared. Seeing that the enemy's wingman had already taken an attacking position, the man suddenly rolled over, got behind the Su-57, and launched a surprise attack, successfully shooting it down. But at the same time, he was locked onto by the other Su-57. Fortunately, the man timely launched a heat decoy. After evading the attack, he rolled over again, got behind the Su-57, locked onto it, and fired a missile. Seeing that he was no match for the Su-57,
Holy shit, what the fuck was that?
the man had to fly into the canyon. Facing the relentless pursuit of the Su-57, the man risked performing a high-difficulty maneuver, flying behind the Su-57 and firing his last missile, which was detonated by the enemy's heat decoy. The man had no choice but to use his machine gun to shoot, and he finally succeeded in shooting down the Su-57. Then he quickly flew toward the aircraft carrier. But a new crisis emerged. Another Su-57 was chasing him from behind. At this point, the F-14 fighter jet had no more missiles and could only fly crazily while dodging the dense bullets. It seemed like he was about to be hit and crash. His comrade appeared in a fighter jet and successfully rescued the 2 of them. Since the landing gear was damaged, the fighter jet had to make an arrested landing with the help of the arresting net. Finally, the man landed safely and successfully completed the mission.